Hey guys, how's it going? So today is another Farm Chores with Miah video here at Roots Refuge. I don't have anything major going on. Like I don't have to move any animals around on new pastures or new paddocks. I really just have the day-to-day stuff that I need to get done. So we're actually about to go out of town for our family vacation. You know, we did a camping trip not too long ago. But that's just something that we're doing every year, no matter what. So if you guys have been fans of the channel for probably at least 5 or more years, maybe 6 years, you know, a long time ago when we were growing, we had told our kids that once we hit 100,000 subs, that we would go on a cruise. Well, we are definitely over 100,000 subs, but as life goes, you know, things just don't always happen like we just talked about, like with the house. Things don't always go as planned. Things get moved around, you have to pivot. So one of those pivots was we were not able to, just because of the move to South Carolina and some other stuff that we knew we were going to be doing, and my mom passing away, things like that. We ended up not going on the cruise. At the beginning of summer last year, I decided that it was time to prioritize that and follow through on what we said. And so I actually booked this cruise a year ago. We're taking everybody. We're going for 5 days to the Bahamas, which is somewhere I've never been. I don't think any of us have ever been. I think Jessica's been on one cruise. The rest of us have never been on a cruise at all. So we're going to be following through with that cruise promise for our kids. Everyone is super excited. We have to be down in Charleston tomorrow. By the time this video posts, we will actually already be home. But anyways, it's cruise week. So today, I've just got to do my normal chores. I've got to milk the cows. I've got to feed the chickens and collect eggs. And I've got to make sure everyone's waters are topped off. Feed the 2 hogs out in the woods. And one chore that I do have to do today that I don't normally have to do is milking the goats. I'm going to be milking the goats for Jessica because she's getting some stuff done in town, running some errands before we leave on the cruise. And I'm not going to be milking them at the same time today because I don't have anywhere else to be other than just making some last minute packing and making sure my kids are ready to go. So we're just going to go through, and I'm not going to be probably doing a lot of talking. I don't really have much to say right now, but I thought it would be fun just to take you guys around and really just kind of show you what a day-to-day looks like. Because, you know, a lot of times on my farm chores, at least the last few videos, it takes so much effort and time to, let's say, move the chicken coops or move the sheep that it has kind of dominated the video, and I'm not really showing all the other small stuff that has to get done on a day-to-day basis. So today we're just going to go around and do every little task that we do every single day. Alright, so we've checked off milking all the animals, feeding Gabriel. I checked to make sure the cats had food in the barn. We've collected eggs, we've checked the chickens' water, and we also checked their feed. It is Sunday. Will comes back and Wes comes back tomorrow because we're going out of town. The feeders were about half full, so I just kind of left them at that, especially on one of those. Sometimes moisture can get inside of those bulk feeders, and then it starts to kind of like make little mounds of feed, and then those kind of ferment and can turn gross. It doesn't really affect the chickens. They don't seem to care. I mean, I've seen them eat grosser stuff and not be affected. But from an operator's point of view, it gets kind of, I don't know, rank in there. So anyways, I dumped one of the feeders out. I thought it was recording and it wasn't. But anyways, I dumped one of them out. The chickens immediately started scratching through and just kind of dispersing it all across their yard. So we'll just spray it out and then let it air dry, and then put the feed back in it. There's not any forecasted like major rain coming. Of course, in South Carolina that can change within 15 minutes. But if there was like a massive storm coming or a lot of rain expected, I wouldn't have dumped out that much feed, because then the rain will essentially do the exact same thing that the feeder was doing. So there's enough time for them to get through that feed and it not get wasted, and then we'll just reset the feeder fresh probably tomorrow. So what I've got left to do is feed the pigs, check on their water, and we need to check on the sheep. Something happened on the farm yesterday for the first time that we've never dealt with before. So, and it has to do with the sheep. If you guys own sheep, you probably have had to deal with it once. This is our first time. So anyways, let's get over to the pigs, get them fed, and then we'll finish up at the sheep, and I'll kind of go over what was our new experience with them yesterday. All right, we're at our final stop. We're at the sheep. The 4 sheep that we added, so we brought home 2 sheep, and that was the first ones. I think it was October of last year. All right, and then we brought home 4 more ewes and a ram. All right, and the ewes were supposed to be bred. Turns out they weren't. All right. Then the 2 original that we put with the ram, they had their lambs. All right, which ended up being 3 more ewes. All right. Well, so the 4 that were supposed to be bred that weren't bred are now close to lambing on this property. So even though they should have done it already, now they did get bred when we put the ram back with them. And we came out yesterday just to kind of check on things, because we knew they were getting close. Their bags are starting to show, and one of them was stuck on her back, which is kind of a little frightening thing when you've got animals like that. If that was a goat, it would be a really, really bad sign. Turns out, after we freaked out and started looking into it, it's actually not that uncommon for that to happen, especially when they're this pregnant, balance issues, things like that. So we kind of deduced based off of the amount of poop that she had let go of in the spot that she was in. So like when she's on her back, she couldn't move. So I knew for a fact that when I came out early afternoon that she wasn't stuck like that, because I came over here, checked water, checked on them. Everybody was fine. So like by about 4 o'clock, so 3.5 hours after that, Jessica came out. Sorry, there's gnats everywhere in South Carolina. It's actually one of the things I don't love about this area. Anyways, so if I keep swatting at my face, I'm not trying to do it intentionally, but they're like landing on my eyeball, and I don't love it. We got her flipped back over, and she really wouldn't stand up, and she wasn't really moving around a lot. She started eating immediately, and so I just kept an eye on it for the rest of the evening. I did come back after I got her flipped over, checked on her, and let me get over this fence without dying. Okay. So when I came back out and checked on her just a few minutes after that, probably within 30 minutes, she still couldn't stand. So I went ahead and got a bucket and filled it over at the main water trough over behind me and brought it to her so she could get access to water, which obviously she did. And then they dumped it out. And now they think I've got feed, so now they're running around like I've got something to offer them, which I don't. I'm just getting my bucket back. All right, toss that in the back of the side-by-side. So, anyways, at about dark last night, I came back over here, and she was not in the same spot. Obviously, you can tell now that's the 4 new ones. These are the 2 ones that came originally with their 2 of the babies. So obviously they're all moving around and ended up working itself out, which is essentially what the information we got off of research and people's, experience with it, that give them a little bit of time. They'll be shaky, won't be able to stand, but eventually, as long as you caught it early enough, that they'll recover. That seems to be the case. So, new homestead monitoring fear alert. I don't know what you want to call it. Got to keep an eye on your sheep because they can fall on their backs and not get up. I feel like I almost need to invest in like a life alert or something, like if they fall down, like it alerts you on your app or something. I don't know. It is interesting to me that this is the animal that God used to describe or relate to us in certain scriptures. I guess I have fallen down on my back before and I haven't been able to get right without his help. I don't know. Anyways, everyone's got water now. Everyone's got feed. Everyone's standing on their feet. No one's stuck on their backs. So everything is right on the farm. I'm leaving it in good hands. We've got Will and Wes who will be here holding it down. But we're going cruising, and I will catch you guys on the next one when we get back. We're all very excited to just take a break. I mean, the last few months from traveling and graduation and moving Malia here has just been a lot, and it's all good, but it's just been a lot. And so this is our time to not have to cook and not have to milk animals and not have to manage. We're just going to spend some time as a family and relax and get ready for another round when we get back, school starts. So anyways, I bless you guys. Until next time.